there, my name is Irene, and in this video we are going to talk about hosted families, specifically lighting fixtures, which can be one of the most frustrating topics when it comes to placing geometry in the context of interior design. So let's get to it. Alright, so I'm going to continue working with my little retail space, and basically what I want to do is I want to add lighting fixtures. So I'm going to go here to my floor plan, and same as when I was working with my doors, the very first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go shopping. Now, I'm going to be using my cloud-based library. And again, this is one of those things that, like, yes, if you want the pretty lighting fixtures, you're going to have to go searching into BIM Smith, BIM Object, or RBTs or RD Studio. Here, I'm working with the stuff that comes within the Revit library. Number one, out of convenience. Number two, out of speed. So I am going on my libraries, under lighting, under architectural, under internal. And let's say that I'm going to be choosing a couple different options so I can show you once again that there's going to be different behaviors depending on what you're picking. So let's say that I want to get this download recess can, this recess lamp round LED. And then let's say I want to have some wall sconces. Do we have wall sconces here? Ooh, we also want pendants. So let's do a pendant. Let's do this pendant hemisphere. Sure. For the cell area. This is going to be a temporary, and then I'll replace it. No, I don't want this one. I want this one. Sure. And then do we have any wall sconces? Sconce light flat round, sconce wall fusiform LED. I also hate that the previews are so tiny. How am I supposed to know? What the hell am I gonna look at? Sphere, flat round, uplight. Let's do all three of them, and then I'll pick whichever one is not absolutely horrendous. Okay, so I'm gonna go load. And once again, remember, when we are working with families from the library, we're just loading them. I still have to go to my components to insert them. So I'm going to go CM for component, and here we go. So what I want to show you here is that depending on the lighting fixture, you're going to get different constraints. Some of them are going to have no constraints at all. Some of them are going to require a host. So for example, you can see here that this spotlight in particular is wall-based. So if I try to put it anywhere, it will not let me. But if I try to put it in a wall, that will work. So let's say, for example, let's see, trim, blah, blah, blah. So that's one. And it comes in a couple different sizes, it seems. Not super pretty. Let's see. Ooh, we also have the sphere. Who is this sphere? Oh, I think it's kind of the same thing. You can also look at them in 3D. Ooh, I mean, it's okay. It's okay. A flat round. All of these lights are yikes. But you know what? It's fine. Let's go with the round one. I think it's a little bit modern. And let's put it here, what will be between the toilet and the, what's the name? Vanity. Bam. See? So this is a wall-based family. And if I come here and I see, again, remember, this family here comes with a default elevation. We did that with the windows as well. So when I was putting it on my floor plan, I could have said Control Z. I could come here and say that I want it to be at a height of, for example, 5 feet. And that means that when I come here and I place it, it's going to place it at 5 feet from the floor, right? But let's take a look at what are the other options that I have. Let's say that, for example, a sconce light round, we already did that. Ooh, so this one is going to be basically the light that is going to be over my point of service. So let's go with the one that is 80 inches. No, that's too wide. 35 inches wide. So I'm going to select this guy here. And okay, there's my light there. So let's say I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to click here. So let's see where this guy is getting placed. So if I come here, it's on the floor. I don't want that. So this is another important thing to understand. With some families, and again, we're going to learn how we can create all of this customization ourselves, but with some families, you're going to notice if you come here on the top level, you're going to see that they actually give you the option of choosing kind of like where to place them. So you can place them based on a work plane. So this is going to be basically like the level that you're drawing on. Because I was on the floor, it is placing it on the floor, or you can choose to put them on a face, vertically or just aligned with that face. So this guy here, I'm going to leave it out for a second because I'm going to show you what do we do with guys like this. And instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to move to my pot lights, right? So I got a couple pot lights. So I have these trim, recess, downlight. And again, with something like this, you're going to notice that there is no host requirement. It's not telling me that I have to place it on the wall or on the ceiling or anything. Same thing is going to happen with this little guy here. So let's say that I'm going to go with the 4 trim downlight. So if I come here, you're going to see that this guy allows me to put it basically anywhere, and it's like not going to stop me. But if I just click, then it's just gonna put it on the floor, which again, not how lighting works, unless you want it to be like a floor light. So we're gonna discuss this guy when we discuss the linear one. So instead what I want to do is I wanna focus on these can light here. So let's say that we're gonna go with this 6-inch here, and this one is interesting because this one is giving me, everywhere, right? Now, if we look in the bottom left corner, you're gonna see that it's telling me that I have to click on the ceiling to place it. And the thing is that you might be like, Irene, I don't understand. There is a ceiling everywhere here. Shouldn't I be able to place it anywhere? And the answer is yes, but no. The same way that when we were doing our floor plan, we couldn't see the window because of the cut range of my floor plan, the same thing is happening here. Remember, we are cutting and whatever is above doesn't exist in this floor plan. So basically what's happening here is that we are cutting out the ceiling. No ceiling, nothing to insert it. So very, very important. Ceiling-based lighting fixtures can only be placed in the RCP, in your ceiling plan view. So I'm gonna go on my project browser under my ceiling plans, and I'm gonna go to my RCP and open it. And once I'm on my RCP, you're gonna see component. Here, it will let me place my light. See? So I can come here and let's say we're gonna have, I don't know, one here, one here, one here, and one here. And then let's see how these guys look. If you are a kind of like alignment freak like me, guess what? You can use your model lines for your alignment and placement. So I could go here and let's say undo, 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 and I could go LI for model line. And let's say I'm going to put one here, visible. Oh, right, because I'm not seeing beyond. Oh, this is a good moment to bring up. Let's say that I want to align things with other things, but I cannot see anything in my ceiling plan here. So this is not a problem of, making it wireframe and then you can see everything, because the thing is that the same way that your floor plans have a cutting and then you don't see anything above, ceiling plans similarly have a cutting, but then you don't see things beneath. So if you want to see whatever is going on underneath your ceiling, this one is going to be a little bit different. It's not so much view range because it's not about where we are cutting. This is going to change. See, for example, it usually puts it pretty high. So if I bring this guy to, I don't know, like 6 feet, for example, and I apply, it's going to let me see things such as my door openings, but it's still not going to show me anything that is on the floor. See, it's also cutting this window here. So if we want to be able to see basically what we refer to as beyond my ceiling, instead, that is going to be a change here in underlay. So see, extents is where we do our view range, and then underlay is where we're going to see, basically, I want to see what is beyond. So if I do this here, all we're going to say is that I want to see what's in my AFF, even if I'm on my ceiling. And when I click here, now I can see all of the stuff. I can even see my DWG. I don't want to see it, so we'll hide it a little bit later. But see, I can see like, oh, okay, for example, so this is where my vanity is going to be. There's already a light here. Like I can basically like better coordinate where I want things to be. Now that I have this, I could go, for example, and use my model lines to create an offset for my lines or my placement or my whatnot. So I could go LI, and let's say that I want this guy to be like perfectly centered here. So I can draw a line here, and then let me select the line over here. I think it's a little bit easier. So 2.6, 2.6, let's put it there. And let's put this guy here, and 2.5, 2.5. You know what? I'm going to pretend that's centered, okay? And you are going to pretend with me. And we're going to fix this guy later. And then let's say that I want to have a line. I don't want this guy to be centered, actually. No, I do. Let's say from here to here. Is that the outer line? Yes, to there. That's 4.2. This is 4.3. 4, 2.5. Yes, I am like this. Okay, so see, now I know that I can put this ones here and I can put these ones along this line. When I go to my RCP, I can go CM for component and see, it's picking up on the location of those lines. So now I can click and I can place my light, which I could not do before, okay? So super, super important. Let's put just one of them. If a light is ceiling based, you can only place it in the ceiling plan view, nowhere else. Now, things get a little bit spicier with these other lights that are not ceiling based, because look what's gonna happen. So I'm gonna go component and I'm gonna go back to that like linear light that we chose. Where is it? This guy here. If I come here and I place this guy, let's say I'm gonna put it, I don't know, there for the time being. Look what's gonna happen when I go to my 3D view. It's still on the floor because again, the ceiling plan is of that floor. So what we need to do in this case here is we need to change the placement to be placed on face. But now we're going to have a problem, and that is that we need to be able to see the ceiling. So I'm going to show you what is, in my experience, the easiest way to see this. It's a little bit extra steps, but you know what? It's not the end of the world. So what I'm going to do here is I'm basically going to turn my building upside down. So I'm going to flip it. See? So now I'm looking at my ceiling, and I can come here and say component, and I can put my light. See? So I have to click on place on face, so that basically I can put it on a surface. See? I could basically make it like a wall sconce, and I can come here. Now you may notice, if we continue noticing things, that this light is kind of like glued to the ceiling, which I don't really like. I would like it to be pendant. So again, and it's called a, oh no, this is a sconce. That's why. Oops. This, let's check. Pendant. That's why. Let's choose this guy here. Let's choose, oh, right, there's a standard. There you go. And as you can see, place on face. So if I would have left it on a work plane, it would just go straight to my floor, right? Like if I go here, boop, I put it there. And then when I go to my 3D view, what you're going to see is that once again, this guy is on the floor, which is not what we want. But again, the other problem that you're going to notice is that this doesn't get solved if I put it on my RCP. If I come here and I put it on my RCP, what you're going to see is that it's basically causing me the same issue. Both of them are ignoring my ceiling. I just wanted to place it on my ceiling. So let me use my filter to get rid of them. Lighting fixtures apply. Okay. So in this case, the easiest way to do this, to be entirely honest with you, is going to be to first put it in a, basically flip your view like this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it on face. And then I can say, for example, I want one of them. Once one of them is in the right place, any copy that you make is going to be okay. So see, for example, if I come here, see, I can't select it in the ceiling. It's not like I cannot work with it. It's just that it wasn't understanding that I wanted it in the ceiling. Once one of them is on the ceiling, I can do my copies, I can do my placement, I can start working with it as if it would be a regular family. Okay, and these ones are kind of cool because there's going to be different editing options. So for example, I can come here and you're going to see on the settings that I can actually adjust the hanging height. So basically this is how far away from the ceiling it is. So if I change this, actually, let's flip this a little bit just so we can see. And this time what I actually want to do is just turn off the ceiling because I want to be able to just see the light with the base. And if I clip it, I may clip it too much. So if I select this guy and I go here to edit type, you're going to see that, for example, I can say that I want it to be, I don't know, 3 feet from the ceiling. And when I click apply, see, it's going to come down. So again, different families are going to give me different controls. But again, this is one problem in particular with some lighting fixtures where you have the option where they're either face-based or ceiling-based. If they're ceiling-based, you have to be in RCP. If they are face-based, the best thing that you can do is basically turn on your ceiling. So I'm going to unhide it. And then basically you are going to turn on your section box, cut it from the bottom, and then just place the first one. As soon as you have placed one of them, the rest of them will understand what they are supposed to do. So see, I'm gonna come here with my downlight here, and I just need to place one of them. See, once I place it face, now this guy's going to behave correctly, and now all I need to do is go back to my RCP and play with where I want it to be, right? So I could say that I want it to be, I don't know, 3 feet from the border, 3 feet also from that border, and then maybe I want to create a model line that goes all the way across here, and then I'm going to put that line. We said that it was 3 feet from the border of my wall, so let's say 3 feet. Then you could do things such as, for example, arrays. So if you want to do an array, you are going to use quick key AR, or you can also find it here, this little guy, AR. And I could come here and say kind of array, so first and second or first and last. So that basically means first and second, you know the position of the first one, you know the position of the second one, and then you're just telling Revit, hey, do you see what I did? Now you're just going to repeat it this many times. First and last means that you know the location of the first guy, you know the location of the last guy, and you're telling Revit whatever number I give you, you're going to put it between those two. So in this case, I want to work with the first and last. So I'm going to select last, and I'm going to pick this guy. I'm going to try to pick it on the middle. And now I'm going to put it here on the middle again. And now I can say, for example, I want to have 3 of them. See, and it's placing 3 of them. I could also come here and select these 3 guys and say, I want to have another one. Again, guidelines, model line. You will notice I do love myself a good model line. Again, they are super handy to quickly plan out the layout. See, so now I can come here, say 3, and I can come here and say, okay, so we're going to select those 3 guys and we're going to go CO for copy. And same thing, I'm going to come here and use my model line to plan where I want them to be. Ooh, I really hate the placement of these guys. So let's say we're going to do a line here and we're going to do a line. Oh, that line is perfectly centered. So that's awesome. Let's say I want this guy and B, and I'm going to put it there. And then I'm going to move it again. Sure. Oh, God, I just want to move this guy MV. That's what I wanted to do. 1.5 feet. Yes. And now what I'm going to do for the other one is I'm just going to do a copy. And, oh, God, Control Z. Copy. There. And we're going to do it 3. There you go. See? Beautiful. Let's say that we're going to wrap it up for the lighting there. So again, keep in mind, depending on the nature of the lighting fixture, some of them are going to have constraints, whether it's walls or ceiling. If it's the ceiling, then you really want to make sure that you are in your ceiling plan view. Otherwise, it's not going to let you place it. But otherwise, most of them are going to be face-based. And in those cases, it's much easier to flip your 3D view, place the first one of them, and then from that point on, you can start placing the rest of them. And with that, we have reached the end of this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing. It does help me and the channel. But otherwise, thank you very much for joining in. Thank you very much for sticking through, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.